Chapter 188. There are always honest people. Xu Qing glanced at the ground. He wanted to take a look at the location that the resonance pointed out and see what was there. The jade slip that Huang Yan had given him also described the underground of the merfolk's island. Due to the characteristics of the merfolk race, the clan's territory was divided into two levels. One was the surface world formed by the cities built on islands with bones or shells. They liked bones, regardless of whether it was fish bones, beast bones, or non-human bones. They were all things they were passionate about. The more sinister and evil they were, the greater their fondness for them. It was as though this was the cultural inheritance buried in the very depths of the soul of every merfolk. As for the second level, it was underwater. There were no caves here on the underwater. It consisted of just an earth layer spanning across the entire underside of the island, with inverted architectural complexes built while directly submerged in the sea. As for the appearance of the merfolk island as a whole, it was actually like a floating leaf. The inverted buildings were being held by some strange force. In Huang Yan's jade slip, the world that the merfolk had built under the sea was described as gorgeous. It was said that all the buildings there were formed from countless multicolored corals. There were also a large number of sea anemone, covered in barbed tentacles, on the corals. As for the exact appearance, Xu Qing didn't know. Let's go. There's nothing good here. Let's go to the fish eye, that's the entrance. The captain rushed into the distance. Xu Qing chose to follow, but he maintained a certain distance. His relationship with the captain was a little strange. He trusted the latter, but not too much. Xu Qing still felt that the captain was mysterious and it was very difficult for him to guess the other party's thoughts. He instinctively felt danger from the other party. With his current cultivation level, he could fight against foundation building cultivators, but he still felt the captain was stronger. In fact, he would check the captain's or every time he broke through. However, every time, he would feel that the other party was slightly stronger than him. This made him even more vigilant. Just like that, the two of them sped through Fishbone City. Their target was the location of the fish eyes. According to what the captain said, or what the jade slip described, that place was the entrance to the underwater world. They also saw many Seven Blood Eyes disciples on their way. These people were either speeding in the dark or exploring the buildings. There were also some who specifically looked for the merfolk corpses to see if there were any spirit stones hidden. There was even a portion of them who were lying in ambush. They targeted both the merfolk race and other sect members. They were like a group of hyenas. They were good at hiding and hunting. However, after seeing Xu Qing and the captain, they quickly retreated. It was unknown if it was because they were afraid of the captain or Xu Qing. Do you see those guys? Many of them could have broken through long ago, but they suppressed their cultivation just to come here to make a fortune. All of them have noses that are even sharper than a dog's. Heavens, look over there. They actually didn't even let go of someone's house. This is too much. The captain pointed into the distance where a few disciples were demolishing a building. This building was special. It was actually made of some spiritual shells. Xu Qing's eyes narrowed. At the same time, the captain suddenly rushed over and his cultivation erupted, causing the gazes of the few people who were demolishing the house to flicker few times before retreating immediately. They didn't even look back and quickly disappeared into the darkness. The captain's eyes lit up. He immediately dismantled a house with great familiarity. Xu Qing also approached and joined in the dismantling, quickly taking away the seashells with strong spirit energy fluctuations. Good stuff. Whose house is this? A small piece of these seashells is worth more than 10 spirit stones. Xu Qing didn't speak and moved even faster. After the time it took for half an incense stick to burn out, when the two of them left, this house was already gone. On the way, there were many lands that were empty like this. Every time the captain saw them, he would have an indignant expression. This is too much. These old disciples are clearly so powerful, but they still came to snatch from us children. When the captain spoke unhappily, Xu Qing looked at his face. The captain looked to be in his late 20s. What are you looking at? Am I wrong? The captain tilted his head and looked at Xu Qing. You're not a kid. I am. Xu Qing calmly spoke. This was the fourth sentence he said after meeting the captain. The captain sighed. Vice Captain Xu, it's better for you to remain silent in the future. Don't speak anymore. Alright, remember to return the 5,000 spirit stones you owe me quickly. With that, The captain sped up. Xu Qing pretended not to hear and silently followed behind. The two of them slowly got closer and closer to the fishhead area. Just as they saw the large hole form in the fisheye location, an explosion rang from afar. Amidst this loud explosion, a merfolk cultivator fled in the sky above the city. A blue light caught out from behind and directly killed him. As the blue light dissipated, it revealed a youth with a flight talisman on him. It was the heaven chosen of the Coast Guard Department, Ding Xiaohui. Ding Xiaohui's expression was solemn as he searched for the other merfolk race members, with a sharp glint in his eyes. Wherever he passed, there would be corpses of the merfolk race. Very soon, he found a new target and flew over to kill it. Unless it was convenient, he wouldn't stop to take items. It was as though this would affect his killing speed. At that moment, he was gradually nearing Xu Qing and the captain. He didn't even glance at them, as he rushed past them toward a group of merfolk cultivators in the distance. His actions were completely different from the other disciples Xu Qing had seen on his way here. Others wanted to make a fortune, but he was clearly doing it for points. Good disciple, Xu Qing, did you see that? This is a good disciple of my 7 blood eyes. It's precisely because we have such a disciple that my 7 blood eyes future exists. The captain had a look of admiration on his face. When he sprinted past the place where the other party had rushed toward, he clenched his fist at Ding Xiaohui in a cheering posture. Senior Brother Ding is mighty. All the best, Senior Brother Ding. Senior Brother Ding, my Black Team 6 of the Homicide Department will fully support you in fighting for first place and obtaining the status of a core disciple. Ding Xiaohui's expression was cold. He glanced at the captain and continued to kill. Xu Qing stared at him. He could feel a sense of persistence from Ding Xiaohui, persistence in becoming the first. The captain sighed with emotion and lowered his head to whisper to Xu Qing behind him. Don't learn from him, he has clearly become stupid from cultivation. What's the use of being a core disciple? He's already about to break through. Once he breaks through, won't he become a purple-robed disciple? At that time, even the core disciples will have to be respectful and polite when they see him. What's the point of working so hard? He has such a sense of belonging to the sect. Everyone's choices are different. It's not easy to judge this. Xu Qing looked at the captain and said his 5th sentence. The captain smiled and pointed at Xu Qing. Just as he was about to speak, his expression changed. Xu Qing's expression also changed and the two of them instantly retreated at the same time. The instant they retreated, the ground where they were previously at suddenly cracked. For pitch-black hands stretched out from there. Although they missed, a powerful fluctuation erupted. As the ground collapsed, 2 figures flew out. These 2 figures wore black armor and their hair was withered. Their exposed skin showed signs of necrosis. Their eyes were light red and revealed bloodthirst and cruelty as they charged towards Xu Qing and the captain. Sea Corpserus, Xu Qing, be careful. These 2 are at the perfected condensation realm. Although they aren't at the foundation building realm, the sea corpse race is strange. They cultivate with anomalous substances and the anomalous substances in their bodies are dense. They also cultivate corpse poison and have powerful bodies. Don't let yourself be injured too much. The captain quickly spoke. With a wave of his hand, he swept a spear toward the approaching sea corpse race cultivator. At the same time, the ground under Ding Xiaohui also rumbled. A 3rd sea corpse cultivator appeared and attacked Ding Xiaohui. The 3 of them immediately fought separately. The fluctuations of their spells were intense. Xu Qing also sensed the strangeness of the sea corpse race. His all-out punch only blasted the other party back a few steps without any injury. As for the vital points like the neck which was slashed by the dagger, it was directly ignored by the sea corpse race. Ever since Xu Qing arrived at the 7 blood eyes, he had seen many non-human races. However, this was the first time he had seen such a strange race. This was especially so for the corpse poison emitted by the other party, making him very curious. Between corpse poison and my poison, which is more powerful?